We're less than 2 weeks away from Halloween, so today we're talking about spooky and haunted places right here in the city. Some you might not even be aware of.
That's right. Joining us this morning is John Freya, the content creator behind Here in New York. We made that music special for you, John.
I feel very
you
special.
so
I feel the love in the studio.
You
right
feel the
now.
love in the
I
studio
do.
right now?
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. New York is old as
Right.
dirt, so
Yes.
there's got to be lots of haunted places, yeah?
Yeah,
Spirits running around.
Yeah, there are a lot of haunted places in New York. A lot of people know that it's the Marsh, Jamal Mansion uptown. You got One if by Land, Two if by Sea, the restaurant. But then there's some lesser known ones like the Belasco Theater. So it is not only one of the most beautiful theaters on Broadway, but it's also one of the most haunted ones.
Oh,
Really?
So it was built in 1907 by David Belasco, and he ended up moving into the theater into a 10-bedroom penthouse and lived there from 1909 to 1931.
In the theater?
Okay.
Yeah.
In the
but-
theater.
In the theater. But some say after he died, his spirit never
don't
left.
wanna
go.
Yeah, so if
His
you,
spirit was like, listen,
This is my
we're going to
place.
hang out
we're going to
here.
just stay here. We're going to see the shows.
We're
Exactly. I
going
wanna
to see the
what's
shows
coming
for
up
free.
next.
For free. So if you ask any of the actors that played at the theater, during rehearsals they may have seen a spirit in the balcony and trying to wave at them and trying to speak to them, and they disappear. There have been sounds of footsteps, curtains moving
Is it
without being
David
touched.
Belasco saying, I don't like that delivery?
Right.
Do that line over.
Take it over.
And he's known
One
as
more
the
time.
Bishop of Broadway because he wore like a clerical collar, and people have said that they've seen his likeness, an image that looked like him throughout the theater.
So they've looked up and into the balcony. They sort of see this dark figure.
Yep, dark figure looking and watching them.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's next?
Next after that would be the Landmark Tavern. Have you heard of this place?
I drive past
Yeah.
it often, and I always
Yeah.
wanted to go in because
Yeah.
I guess it's one of the oldest bars in the city.
It opened up in 1868,
I
and
mean-
it's not haunted by one, two spirits. It's haunted by three.
Oh, you can't miss.
Are they friends?
You know, they're from different generations, so they might be friends. So you have one is actor George Raft. He was known for playing the mobster in the 1930s and 40s in those movies.
Okay.
He grew up in Hell's Kitchen, and then this place was his favorite. Then there was a Confederate Civil War veteran that got into a fight. He was stabbed there.
Oh, God.
You know, he just didn't decide not to die on the first floor.
gonna
He
stay there.
crawls up the stairs,
Oh, is
went,
that right?
went into the
Okay.
bathtub, and that's where he died.
This is the tub. Oh.
And the tub is still there.
And what was the time period? This is from what?
This was from the 1800s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So their spirits are prowling around the Landmark
Yes,
Tavern.
there's
Let's
also-
go get a beer
I think
there.
we should go and
I know, have a
just see what
spirit with a
happens.
spirit.
There you go.
But
I like the way he thinks. All right, how about the Jane Hotel?
The Jane
I
Hotel.
love the Jane
So that is
Hotel.
in the West Village, and it's just right by Little Island. And the reason that that location is important because that used to be Pier 54, and the survivors from the Titanic arrived there on the Carpathia.
Oh, wow.
So the surviving workers on the Titanic actually stayed at the Jane Hotel, but back then it was known as the American Seamen's Friends Society Sailors Home and Institute. It's a mouthful.
Well, I'm glad
Wow.
Jane took over. We're running out of time. Brooklyn Bridge.
Brooklyn
This one
Bridge.
is amazing.
Yeah, what's
Yes,
happening
supposedly there was an alien abduction connected to it. There was a woman driving over the bridge. Her car just died. Looked up, saw like a UFO by the Lower East Side.
No.
Someone being raised into the UFO, and then it shot across the
No.
Brooklyn
What?
Bridge. Yeah. And then once the UFO disappeared, her car suddenly started to work and drove off.
Was she coming from the tavern, by the way, when she said? No, I'm just kidding.
You know, maybe she had a little too much of those spirits.
But that-
Was there traffic on the Manhattan Bridge, and that's why she took
She
the
took
Brooklyn
the.
Bridge?
You just walk over the bridge sometimes, right?
So now in
Alright.
St. Patrick's, the old St. Patrick,
The old St. Patrick's,
Catacombs.
the Catacombs you can tour. You have to book it through. It's like a candlelight tour through Tommy's New York, and you get to see the grave sites of the Delmonicos, Honest John Kelly, Countess Annie Leary, and it's not haunted. It's more macabre, but it's just such a great thing to do during this season.
I love
Never
John.
knew that
Only
was
John
existed.
Freya can say it's not haunted, it's macabre.
It's macabre.
So fantastic.
And it's well lit, so it didn't look that scary, actually.
John
Or Catacombs.
Freya, will you join us again at
Yes,
some point?
I would love to be back.
It's
This was
fantastic. I love
great.
the monochromatic frock he has. It's a whole
He's
thing.
styling
I
it.
love it.
Absolutely.
You can learn more fun facts about New York City by following Here in New York on the gram. It's at here_in_NY. And on TikTok at Here in NYC. Woofa.
Good for you. Well done.